Right, Goku and Teen Titans Episode 3. Goku gets some aid from the Teen Titans. Let's get into it. Piccolo's crimson eyes swept over the battlefield, taking in the sight of his fallen allies. Gizmo was groaning in a pile of shattered drones. Mammoth was pinned under Beast Boy's elephant form, and Jinx was twitching from Robin's electric staff. An Enchantress was trapped in one of Raven's dark magic prisons. His lips curled, looking at them in disgust. Pathetic, he spat, his voice dripping with contempt. Is this the best the Slade could muster? A bunch of children playing villain. Jinx, still dazed, flinched at his words. She had been so confident moments ago, toying with Robin's luck, but now she could only glare weakly at the ground. We had them on the ropes, Gizmo protested, struggling to sit up. On the ropes? Piccolo scoffed. You were crushed like insects. If this is the strength of Deathstroke's elite, then his usefulness is lesser than I thought. His gaze locked onto Goku, however, who was already pushing himself up, dusting off his gi. Let's see if the Monkey King of this rubbish is worthy of my time. Jinx clenched her fists, her usual smirk replaced by a scowl. She had been so sure of herself. Her bad luck hexes always gave her the upper hand in all of her previous encounters, and yet Robin had outmaneuvered her, and now Piccolo's scorn burned worse than any shot from the Boy Wonder's staff. Whatever, she muttered. The frustration in her voice was undeniable. Goku stepped forward, his expression uncharacteristically serious. Hey, don't talk to them like that, he said, locking eyes with Piccolo. They fought hard. You don't gotta kick them while they're down. Piccolo sneered. Sentimentality. That's why you'll lose. There's no room in the battlefield for sentiments. Goku's fist tightened. Nah, I fight to improve myself and other people, even if those other people have made mistakes. As he looked at the other people, as he looked at the Hive Five. That is truly what can make you stronger. That's how you get stronger. The air between them crackled with tension. Jinx watched the spiky-haired boy with black hair. Something unfamiliar was stirring within her chest. No one had ever defended her before. This was something new. Without another word, Piccolo shot upward like a bullet, his cape flaring behind him as he left it behind. Goku followed instantly, a sonic boom erupting in his wake as he shattered the sound barrier. The two warriors clashed mid-air, their fists colliding with enough force to send shockwaves rippling through the sky, moving the clouds. Each impact was like thunder, the sheer speed of their movements making them little more than blurs to the naked eye. You are fast, Piccolo admitted, barely blocking a roundhouse kick that would have shattered a skyscraper. And you hit pretty hard. Goku grinned, countering with a spinning elbow that Piccolo was able to dodge. They spiraled higher, trading blows so rapidly that the air itself seemed to scream in protest. Below, most of the Titans shielded their eyes, struggling to even track the battle. Goku's grin faltered for a split second as he noticed the destruction they were causing below. Buildings were trembling. Windows were shattering from the shockwaves, and he couldn't let innocent people get caught up in this crossfire. Hey, green guy, he called, blocking a ki blast. How about we take this somewhere with more room? Piccolo narrowed his eyes. You're running already. Nah, Goku said, already darting toward the outskirts of the city. I'm just picking a better battlefield. With the snarl, Piccolo pursued, the two of them streaking across the sky like comets, leaving Jump City behind as they headed toward the woodlands beyond. Robin watched them go, his mind racing. We can't let Goku fight alone, he said, turning to them. Cyborg, I need you to track them. Cyborg's optics whirred. Already on it. They're heading northeast to an uninhabited zone. Good, Robin nodded. Starfire, you and Raven take point. Beast Boy scout ahead. Cyborg and I will follow up behind. We don't know what Piccolo's capable of. If Goku needs backup, we'll be there. Beast Boy smirked. Shifting into a falcon, let's move. With that, the Titans took off, determination in their eyes. They weren't just a team. They were practically family. And no reincarnated Demon King was going to take one of their own away from them. Piccolo's crimson eyes gleamed with cruel satisfaction as he watched Goku's chest rise and fall heavily. His breathing was coming in sharp bursts. The Saiyan was still standing, still grinning, but the fatigue, it was noticeable. His knuckles were bruised, his gi was slightly torn from their brutal exchanges. Pathetic, Piccolo sneered, folding his arms. All that power, and yet you're already winded. Joining these so-called titans has made you soft. Goku wiped his brow, chuckling. Maybe I'm just warming up. Don't lie to yourself, Piccolo growled. You've been running around playing hero, wasting your potential on petty criminals and weaklings. Meanwhile, I've spent every waking moment training, honing my hatred, sharpening my skills for this very day. His voice dripped to a venomous whisper. While you were off laughing with your friends, I was in the wastelands of Kondak, pushing my body beyond its limits. While you were eating pizza, I was meditating in the dark depths of Black Adam's dungeon, embracing the darkness that fuels within me. Goku's smirk faded slightly. He knew that Piccolo wasn't completely wrong. He had been focusing on teamwork and protecting others rather than pushing his own limits like he used to. You could have been so much stronger, Piccolo continued, flexing his claws. But you chose weakness. You chose them. His lips twisted into a mocking grin. And now when it matters most, you won't be strong enough to save yourself. A gust of wind howled between them as Goku clenched his fist. That's where you're wrong, he said, his voice steady. My friends don't make me completely weak. They make me fight harder, and they can help me whenever I have a shortcoming. Piccolo's eyes narrowed. Then prove it. And with that, he lunged forward, his fist wreathed in crackling violet ki, aimed straight for Goku's chest. The air between Piccolo and Goku ignited as they both thrust their palms forward, unleashing twin beams of raw energy. Goku's brilliant blue and Piccolo's seething violet. The blast collided in a cataclysmic explosion, the shockwave ripping outward like a bomb detonating. Ancient trees were uprooted in an instant, splintered into kindling as the force of the blast flattened everything in a 100-yard radius. The ground itself trembled, dirt and debris hurling skyward in a violent upheaval. Birds scattered in terror. Animals bolted for their lives. Nature itself recoiled from the sheer destructive power of their clash. Goku gritted his teeth, pouring more energy into his attack, while his muscles were straining. Piccolo snarled, veins bulging in his forehead, as he refused to yield. For a moment, the beams hung in a deadlock until the pressure became too much. Boom! The resulting detonation sent both warriors skidding backward, and the landscape around them was reduced to a smoldering wasteland. Miles away, the Titans froze as a distant explosion lit up the horizon. A towering plume of smoke and energy rising into the sky. There! Cyborg barked, his scanners locking onto the energy signature. That's gotta be them. Starfire's eyes glowed with urgency. We must hurry. Goku may require assistance. Beast Boy shifted into a hawk, soaring ahead. I'll scout the area. Follow my lead. Robin's jaws tightened. Move fast. If Piccolo's as strong as he seems, Goku might be injured, especially after that explosion. Raven's cloak billowed as she levitated. Let's just hope we're not too late. With that, the Titans shot toward the devastation, determination burning within their hearts. As the dust from the explosion swirled, Piccolo smirked, assuming Goku was disoriented. Lost already, huh, ape? He taunted. But Goku wasn't relying on his sight. He closed his eyes, focused on Piccolo's energy signature. The moment he locked on, his eyelids snapped open, and with a sharp "Ha!" he fired twin eye beams straight through the smoke. Piccolo roared as the laser soared into his shoulder, the smell of burnt flesh filling the air. He staggered back, clutching the wound with a face twisted in fury. You bastard. Goku grinned with his fist still raised. I told you I was just warming up. Piccolo's purple blood dripped onto the scorched earth, a sign of the first real damage he had taken in this battle. And now he was pissed. Piccolo's lips curled into a vicious grin as he charged his destructive wave. A spiraling blast of orange energy streaked towards Goku. The sand twisted mid-air, narrowly avoiding the initial strike, but then his eyes widened as the attack looped back around, locking onto him like a homing missile. What the? Goku barely had time to react before the blast gave chase, forcing him into a desperate high-speed evasion. He zigzagged through the forest. Trees were disintegrating in his wake as Piccolo's energy pulsed relentlessly while pursuing him. You can't outrun it, ape. Piccolo's voice boomed behind him. My ki obeys my very will. Goku gritted his teeth, pushing his speed to the limit, but the blast was gaining. Before he knew it, the tree line broke, and the skyscrapers of Jump City loomed ahead. People below screamed as they saw the upcoming destruction. Oh no, Goku realized in horror that if he kept dodging, the blast would level the city block. So he had one choice left. With a sharp inhale, Goku spun mid-fight, facing the oncoming demon wave head on. Instead of dodging, he dug his heels into the pavement, arms outstretched. Gotcha. He roared as he caught the blast in his palms, his muscles straining against the violent energy, trying to tear free. The force sent him skidding backward, his boots digging trenches into the asphalt. Goku's body flared with blue energy as he wrapped himself in a barrier to compress the explosion inward. Everybody get back! He bellowed. Civilians scrambled for cover as the blast detonated in his grasp. A contained sunburst of destruction. The shock wave rattled windows for blocks, but thanks to Goku's quick thinking, the damage was greatly minimized. As the smoke cleared, Goku stood in a smoldering crater, singed, bruised, and barely standing. Piccolo was disgusted, and as his eyes narrowed, "You fool. You wasted your energy protecting these weaklings." Goku wiped blood from his lip and smirked. I think it was worth it. Piccolo hovered above the smoldering crater with his crimson eyes gleaming with cruel amusement as he watched Goku struggle to rise back up. The Saiyan's gi was cooked, his body singed from containing the blast. His sacrifice had evident damages because of it. Pathetic, Piccolo sneered, crossing his arms. You damn near killed yourself for these worthless humans. And where are they now? Gone. They abandoned you the moment they got the chance. His lips twisted into a mocking grin. That's the problem with you heroes. You fight for those who won't fight for you. They left you alone with the reincarnation of the Demon King himself. Goku coughed, forcing himself to one knee. Huh. Doesn't matter, I'd do it again. Piccolo's smirk faded into a scowl. They're even more of a fool than I thought. Who said he was alone? Robin said as he had arrived. Goku's ears perked up at the sound of a familiar voice cutting through the smoke. Nobody ever said he was alone. Robin stepped forward, his cape fluttering as he emerged from the dust. His expression steeled. Behind them, the rest of the Titans materialized. Cyborg's cannon was humming. Starfire's eyes were glowing green. Beast Boy was already shifting into a wolf, and Raven's dark energy swirled ominously around her. Goku blinked in surprise before breaking into a pained grin. Took you guys long enough. Robin didn't take his eyes off Piccolo. Like you said before, we love to make an entrance. One by one, the Teen Titans stepped forward, forming a protective half circle around Goku. Their arms were crossed, their glares locked onto Piccolo with unshaken defiance as he levitated in the air. Cyborg cracked his metallic knuckles. You messed with the wrong squad, Green Bean. Starfire's eyes burned emerald. You will regret harming our friend. Beast Boy bared his fangs in a snarl and let out a vicious bark. And Raven's voice was ice. Your revenge game ends here. Piccolo's eyes flickered between them, unimpressed, but amused. Piccolo threw his head back and laughed, a deep guttural sound that echoed through the ruined streets. Brave words for insects. Fine. If you're all so eager to die together, I'll send your entire squad to the grave. His fist ignited with violet ki, his aura flaring violently. That way, when I finish off your monkey king, he won't have to be lonely in hell. Goku wiped blood from his lip and forced himself upright, his own energy trying to flare back up in response. You know, you talk too much. The Titans shifted into battle stances. The real fight was about to begin. Robin's voice cut through the tension like a blade. Titans, go! In an instant, the team exploded into action. Cyborg's sonic cannon whirled to life, unleashing a concussive blast straight at Piccolo's chest. Starfire rocketed forward, her fists wreathed in emerald starbolts, while Raven's hands glowed with dark energy. Beast Boy's form shimmered, already shifting into something new. Goku, still battered but grinning, cracked his knuckles. Alright, team. Show this guy the strength of numbers. Piccolo barely had time to react before the coordinated assault was already upon him. Beast Boy's body twisted and morphed into a green bat, his leathery wings flaring as he unleashed a piercing, ultrasonic shriek. The sound waves hit Piccolo like a physical force because his sensitive Namekian ears were throbbing in agony. Beast Boy had been told this information by Robin because of Batman's dossier on the Demon King Piccolo in the first fight, knowing that he was weak against these type of sounds. Damn rodent, Piccolo snarled, clapping his hands over his ears, his balance faltering in the air. Cyborg smirked. Yeah, not so tough when you can't think straight, huh? The distraction was all the opening they needed. Raven's eyes glowed wide as she raised her hands, lifting chunks of rubble, shattered concrete, and twisted metal mixed with her magic. Azeroth Metreon Zinthos. With a flick of her wrist, she hurled the debris at Piccolo like a meteor shower. The projectiles hammered into him, knocking him off his feet and burying him under a crushing pile of wreckage. And Starfire hovered beside her, arms crossed. That should keep him down. Raven's expression remained wary. Not for long. As predicted, the rubble exploded outward as Piccolo erupted from the wreckage, his face twisted in fury. Enough of these. Clang. Before he could finish, Robin's flashbang grenade detonated right in his face, leaving a searing white light engulfing his vision. His eyes burned and he staggered back disoriented. Damn it. Robin landed in a crouch, already priming another explosive. Eyes on the target. Titans, he's blind. Now's your shot. The team moved for the knockout blow. Seeing Piccolo blinded and reeling, Cyborg didn't hesitate. His arm cannon whirled as he channeled every ounce of power into a massive blue energy blast, the air crackling with raw voltage. Eat this! He roared, unleashing the attack at point-blank range. The beam slammed into Piccolo's chest, sending him skidding backward. His feet were caving trenches into the pavement. Smoke billowed from the impact as the Namekian gritted his teeth, struggling against the force. You think this is enough? Piccolo growled, muscles straining as he pushed back against the blast, his own aura flaring behind him violently. Just as Piccolo gained ground against Cyborg's attack, he was blindsided by an emerald light that streaked down from above. You will fall, demon, Starfire shouted, her fist glowing as she unleashed a full-powered starbolt barrage directly into Piccolo's back. The explosive bolts erupted against his spine, disrupting his balance and sending him lurching forward, right back into Cyborg's beam. Piccolo roared in frustration, caught in the crossfire of two devastating attacks. His arms were trembling as he fought to stay upright, but the confined force was starting to become overwhelming. Goku, battered but unbroken, wiped blood from his lip and grinned. All right, it's my turn. Dropping into his signature stance, he channeled every last drop of his energy into his fist, a swirling blue vortex forming within it, and the ground trembled as he gathered his power on the battlefield. Booyah blast! With a mighty thrust, Goku unleashed the titanic energy wave. The beam joined in Cyborg's and Starfire's attack in a devastating trifecta of destruction. The combined force engulfed Piccolo completely, the explosion lighting up the sky as the shockwave flattened everything that was in its wake. When the smoke cleared, Piccolo was on his knees, beaten and scorched, and the Titans stood together, ready to end this. The battlefield fell eerily silent as the smoke slowly dissipated, revealing the scorched form of the reincarnated son of the Demon King, where Piccolo had been struck down. The Namekian warrior groaned, his once proud stance reduced to trembling limbs as he forced himself onto one knee. His clothing was tattered, his green skin marred with burns and bruises, undeniable proof of the Titans' combined might. Goku, breathing heavily and clutching his injured side, stepped forward. His unusual grin was absent, replaced by a rare solemnity. You don't have to be like your father, Piccolo, he said, voice firm but not unkind. You are strong enough to choose your own path for yourself. Piccolo's crimson eyes flickered with something unreadable, anger, frustration, maybe even the faintest hint of doubt, and for a moment it seemed like he might have listened. Then, with a pained grunt, he levitated off the ground, his body wavering as he fought to stay airborne. Fool, he spat, his voice hoarse, but dripping with venom. Mercy is weakness, and weakness will get you killed on the battlefield someday. His gaze locked onto Goku's, burning with a promise. The next time we meet, I won't hesitate to finish what my father started. And with that, he rocketed into the sky, his form shrieking into the distance until he vanished behind the clouds. The Titans watched in silence, the weight of the battle settling over them. We shouldn't have let him leave, Robin muttered. Goku exhaled, rubbing the back of his neck. Yeah, if he comes back next time, we'll be ready. Starfire floated down beside him, placing a reassuring hand on his shoulder. And he will still lose, because he fights alone, and we fight together. Goku smiled, looking at his team, his surrogate family. Couldn't have said it better myself. Goku's legs finally gave out as his adrenaline faded. His body was pushed beyond its limits, but before he could hit the ground, strong hands caught him. Cyborg on one side and Beast Boy, now human again, on the other. Whoa there, big guy, Cyborg chuckled, hoisting him up. Save some energy for the victory feast. Starfire floated close, her eyes warm with concern. You fought most bravely, friend Goku. Raven, though typically stoic, gave a small nod of respect. Not bad, for an idiot who almost got himself killed. Goku laughed weakly, wiping the dirt from his face. I couldn't have done it without you guys. With their leader supported between them, the Titans began to slow trek back to the tower, their bond stronger than ever. The city lights flickered in the distance, a silent testament to another battle that was won together. As the others moved ahead, Robin lingered, his expression unreadable behind his mask, and with a quick glance to ensure he wasn't overheard, he activated his encrypted communicator. Batman, it's Robin. Static crackled before the Dark Knight's voice responded, cold and expectant. Report. Robin's jaws tightened. Goku had Piccolo beaten, but he decided to let him go. No containment, no league involvement, just words about choosing a better path. A long pause, then Batman's voice dropped lower, dangerously calm. And what was the threat level that Piccolo posed? Robin hesitated. At least a city-level threat. Then this was a mistake. Batman's tone left no room for debate. Monitor the situation further. If Goku's judgment compromises the team any further, I know. Robin cut in, sharper than intended. I'll handle it. The line went dead. Robin stared at the communicator, guilt and duty warring in his chest before sprinting to catch up with the others. His smile forced, and his mind was still racing. So yeah, that's the end of that. I hope you guys liked it, man. Let me know what you think down below. I actually had to do this video twice because my images got corrupted. So leave a like for that. Gone.